Many people, a cat is their best friend. Despite what dog lovers may believe, cats make excellent house pets for several reasons. So, first, cats are good companions. Additionally, they are civilized members of the household. And lastly, cats are very easy to care for. Our green is for our claim, our main argument here. Which part of that would be considered our main argument, ma'am? The very first one? Are we talking about dogs?
So the second. So the first answer.
I don't know. We talk about dogs here. Our title is Cat Companions. So we're going to think about that, and we're going to move forward a little bit.
The third sentence.
The third sentence.
No, and then like the fourth one.
So starting with what word?
Despite.
Despite what dog lovers may believe, cats make excellent house pets for several reasons. That is going to be it. So we're going to underline that in green, because we know that that is going to be the basis of our argument, that we are arguing that cats are really good house pets. Now, that's not to offend you dog lovers, right? We're going to take a look at the other side and look at cats here, so our cat people will be happy. All right, now take your yellow in your hand. Okay, we got yellow. Okay, now our yellow is to identify our reasons that we believe cats would make really good house pets, all right? So what in our introductory paragraph here are the reasons that we believe cats would be really good house pets? Oh, let's see, all the way at the back, please.
It says first, cats are good companions. Additionally, they are civilized members of the household. And lastly, they're very easy to care for.
Yes, ma'am, thank you. So underline all three of those. And now we know that we have particular reasons that we think cats are going to be really good companions for people. So we want to know where our argument is leading us. So what should happen with these three yellow statements at the very beginning? Okay. Are we going to see them again in the rest of the essay? Yeah, they have to build our body paragraph. So just like with the Kahoot, it's our reasons and our evidence then that we want to build the rest of our argument upon. So in the first place, people enjoy the companionship of cats. Many cats are affectionate. Now, which in this is one of our sentences that we used in the introductory paragraph? Yes, ma'am.
Many cats are affectionate.
Yeah, so we're going to take our yellow one more time. And we're going to do yellow right here underneath this reason that we think cats are going to be really good companions. So the reason is that people enjoy the companionship of cats. Now we're going to keep moving along, so we want to keep using our colors and marking our papers. Now, we haven't gotten to the point where we've provided details and evidence to this argument. So what color do you think we need to use next? Red. Now let's think about how these colors are being used. What does green usually tell you? Could be green. Think of a stoplight. Yeah, green tells you to go. What does yellow tell you to do? What does red tell you? Okay, so if we think about those colors and how they would help us with this argument, we know that our topic sentence, our claim here, is that we want to go and we want to tell about this information. We want to argue our case. The yellows are, we're going to slow down and we're going to present some of these reasons that we think cats are going to be really good companions. And then our reds, that's really going to stop us so that we can provide the facts and the evidence. I use this with my high school students a lot. We use color coding for freshman writing a good portion of the time. So with your red in hand, let's take a look at our sentences here now. Many cats are affectionate. Does that help support the idea that they would be good companions?
Yes.
Yeah. Now, I tend to like my cats, to snuggle up, not attack. Right? Are we kind of in agreement on that? We don't? Well, okay. That'll work. So we're going to underline that in red. Many cats are affectionate. So here's additional information. They will snuggle up and ask to be petted or scratched under the chin. Anybody have cats who will do that? rub up to you? Okay, so is this still red? Yep. So let's take a look at our first one here about raising the allowance. Does that sound like a good argument? Like, would you argue with your parents to raise your allowance, maybe? You know, I never got an allowance either. Anybody not get an allowance? Okay, it was just expected. Is that kind of, your parents just expected you to do some chores? Yeah, I understand. Okay, but I think some of the information here in our paperwork is pretty good. So what would you give your first number two, the best argument? What are you thinking?
The best argument
Yeah.
would probably be D.
D? Okay, so we have, according to Kate and Lori, and it gives a psychotherapist's opinion, right? About how this would be good for students to have an improved allowance. Yes, ma'am, what else?
I think C.
Okay, C. C gives us numbers and statistics, right? Yeah, so both of those really give some good credibility to our argument. We have facts, we have details. So one is we have a quote by what seems like a reputable person, and the other one gives us the recent poll of teens. Now, if we think about that for a minute, which seems like the more credible source of information?
C.
Okay, C, so we have that, that data. Let's talk about why. Why does that data, why do those numbers seem more credible?
Because the facts can help your argument more.
Okay, where do those facts come from? Take a look at the very beginning. Who are the ones that took that poll? Teens. Okay, so we have the information that teens are getting a higher allowance, right? That the average amount of the allowance for 13 to 15-year-olds is over $13 and I only get $5. So that does show parents, right, that hey, lots of other people are getting paid more. Do your parents generally go along with the idea of, but other people get to go, or they don't? Okay. So if we think about the types of information that we're getting here, would it work better for your parent if it was from the psychotherapist
Yeah.
that said, hey, kids are going to feel better if they... Okay, so sometimes it is a matter of knowing your audience and deciding which argument is going to be the best for your audience. I know for my parents, because they didn't pay me an allowance ever anyway, if I said, hey, but everybody else is getting all this money, and they would have been like, that's really good for them. But it wouldn't have changed what they had for me. Maybe if I said that this psychotherapist said kids' allowance aren't enough to give kids if the allowance isn't enough, it gives kids the impression that things come too hard. Maybe that would have worked for them. So let's talk about the least valuable argument here. Which one would not work at all for our audience? Okay, why do you say A? It's Jacob, right?
Because it still has savings, he has but there aren't any numbers in it.
Yeah, it's just kind of a because, right? Because, right, so that one isn't really gonna work very well for us. Yes, ma'am?
And plus, basically, it's not really, even if the class did have more allowance, it's not really supportable. It's not really like that important to bring out.
Yeah, I would agree with that. So that is definitely our least one. So somewhere in there, the prices of things I buy with my allowance have gone up. That is gonna fit in. That can be a reasonable argument with your parents. We know as parents that prices have changed since we were young, right? So we can understand that prices are gonna be a little different for you guys too. Okay, any questions on that number 2 one? Anybody feel like they should go home and argue to have an allowance or increase their allowance? Okay, I wish you good luck with your argument. Maybe some of that'll help. Okay, number 3. Let's take a look at 3. You read this one quietly and independently, but our claim is what? Maybe I can ask Heidi to read that.
Our claim is our school should not require summer reading in the audiences.
Okay. Do you guys have summer reading?
No.
Oh, okay. In high school, sometimes we do. So in your advanced placement classes, if you are interested in that increased kind of challenge and that extra weighted class for your GPA, you guys are going to learn all about that soon enough. But sometimes there's summer reading. So, what did you think of the arguments that were here then? What is the least effective? I'm gonna start with that one this time. Yes, ma'am?
Adults get to choose.